Hi, in this lecture we are going to see about solving problems with strings in Python. We are going to solve problems that involve strings and how Python has functions and support for us to easily solve. That's the objective of this discussion. So let us consider this first problem. You are given a string S1. Okay, you are given a string S1 and a character CH. Now we have to find out whether the string belongs to one of the following category, right? The categories are going to be from A to E, right? And what does A say is the type of string is odd. When we will say it to be odd orders when n is odd and when s is odd, that is what is given. And what is n as? N is going to be the number of occurrences of the ch in S1. How many times that particular character has occurred in S1? That is what is indicated by n. And what is indicated by s is going to be the sum of position of occurrence in ch. Okay, sum of position of occurrence in occurrence of ch. Sorry, there is a typo here. Occurrence of ch in S1. That is what is s. So when both of them, number of occurrence and sum of position is odd, then we call that string belonging to the category odd. And we will say that it belongs to the category even odd when the number of times it's occurring as even and sum of position is odd, and odd even when number of times is odd and sum of position is even when both of them are even, and we say that it belongs to no category when ch is not present in S1. Okay, in the given string, if the character is not present, then we say that it belongs to no category. Now when we look at the PAC of this particular problem, we see that the input is going to be the string. Okay, input is going to be the string and a character, and the output is going to be the type of string with respect to the character, whether it is even or odd, like that. And when we look at the concepts involved in solving the problem, we have to find all the position of ch in S. Similarly, find the number of occurrences and sum of the position of occurrences. So consider the examples. First is elephant and the given character is E, right? When we look at this example, you see E occurs in the first position as well as in the third position. So the number of occurrence is going to be 2 and the position of occurrence is 1 and 3. Now I am just doing a manual human interpretation of the position. We generally say a count from position 1, right? So this is the human interpretation 1 and 3. Whereas if you are going to code it, right, in code it will be starting the index from 0, that we will see little later. Now just concentrate on the human interpretation of the position. Now it is 1 and 3. So when you see the number of occurrences is 2 and the sum of the positions is 4, right? So both of them are even. So this string belongs to even category. Next, consider the string memory. This is the second input and the character we are going to look at it A, right? When you look at this, A does not occur in memory at all. Okay, so the code should print no category. So this is the algorithm. The algorithm says that read the string S1 and the character CH. Okay, and we are going to have 4 variables. Okay, 4 variables, and we are initializing it. We are saying count equal to 0, sum of position equal to 0, and then even count is false. These two are Boolean things. Here we are going to have these variables to be true if the count of the occurrence of the characters even, then we are going to have this as even. Okay, we will have this as true. Okay, so initially we think that it is not even, so I am going to have it as false. I think that it is odd. Okay, similarly for even position also I have a Boolean variable and I think that it is not even, so false. And this is an algorithm which is going to say how it should work, right? The algorithm will not be generally specific to the language. This will just say the procedure. Okay, So in this procedure, what should we do is, we should take the character one by one, right, and we have to check whether that character what you are taking from the string is CH. Okay, if it is CH, if the current character in position P is equal to CH, then you have to increment the count, the number of times it is occurring, and then we have to add P to sum of positions. Okay, and then you have to move to the next character. This is how we generally do for each character in the string. And after finishing this process, we are going to check whether count is even. If count is even, then we are going to make this Boolean variable to true. We are going to assign true value for this Boolean variable even count. And if sum of position is even, once again check the sum of the positions. If it is even, then you are going to make even position to true. Okay. After doing this, you are going to check even count and even position both are true, means then you have to print even. If even count and even position, okay, if even count is odd, right, this is not of, right, I have missed that, then we are coding, we will see this should be like not of even count and even position, that is even count is false and even position is true, then we have to print odd even and so on. So now we will code this algorithm step by step. Okay, so the first steps says that read the string in S. Right, now we are reading a string, so we won't do any kind of conversion as we were previously doing when we were reading integer, float and so on. Now it's a string. When you are reading string, there is no need of explicit conversion because the Python by itself reads it as a string only. And now we are going to read the character. Okay, there is no specific data type for the character, so we will just use the input function for reading it. In Python, character is just a string of length 1. Okay, fine. Now I am going to find the count. Actually the algorithm is very generic where we didn't take the features of the algorithm, but before we do the implementation, we will just see how we can better implement it in Python. Okay, so let us see the functions what we'll be using, right. So we will be using the count function. So let me say the string as apple. So this is how a string constant will be defined in Python. You have to put it in single quotes or in double quotes. Okay, and then I am going to use the count function. Actually count function will help us to know how many times a substring or a character occurs in the string. Okay, so you have to use like this, s dot count. Okay, s is the string, this is a object, so dot count, how many times it occurs, it will give the number of times. Okay, suppose if there is no occurrence, then it will give 0. Next what we are going to do is, we might have seen this function and when we were seeing about the theory part of the string. Okay, actually this find will give you the position. You can see that now I am trying to find s dot find of p, right. So it will give me 1. Why it is giving 1 is because when you look at the interpretation, you can see that the index starts from 0, isn't it. So since the index starts from 0, s will be at 0, this p is at 1. Okay, so find will always, if you are using only one argument, then it is always going to give you the first occurrence only, but I want to find all the occurrence of the character. How can I make it, right? Actually find takes one more argument also. This is a find is a built-in function. You can just see here, this is the substring sub. You can see what is being shown as a hint. This is called as tooltip. Now this tooltip is given by the Python editor. So you can see that the first thing what it is saying is sub. Sub means the substring what you are going to find, right? That's what in the previous case we have given as p. Then you see there are square brackets. This is like syntax. If something is given within square bracket in the syntax, then it means that that is a default argument. So it is optional for the user to give. See, when we are trying to find something, when most of the cases, in 90% of the cases, we will try to find the first occurrence, right? So what they are doing is, we already seen about default arguments while we were discussing about functions. In built-in functions also they provide default arguments to suit the most commonly used pattern of the users, right? So in most of the cases for find function we are going to just find from the beginning, that is from the position 0. So we are not going to mention it, but if you want to know it, if you want to find a second occurrence, obviously you have to use the second argument. Also you can give an optional third argument, that is if you want to find from position P to position Q, then both we can give. Then in that case you can pass 3 arguments for find. Now we are not going to pass the third argument, I am just going to pass the second argument. I am going to find P, I am going to give the start position. Instead of starting from 0, now I have to start from the position 1 greater than the first occurrence. The first occurrence has happened at index 1. So 1 greater than the position of the first occurrence means it will be 2, right? So now you can see that I am saying s dot find of p comma 2. So search for the substring p from index 2. That's what I am saying. Actually it happens, it occurs in the second index itself, that is immediately, so it is giving us 2. Right? Let us see one more example, that is for elephant, right? So now I have made SS elephant, then I am going to say s dot find of E, okay, and I can also give 0, it doesn't stop me from doing that, okay. When I want to start from index 0, I can also give E comma 0, then 0, right? Okay, then now I am going to find the second occurrence. So second occurrence of E, from where I should search? From the first occurrence plus 1. First occurrence is at 0. So 0 plus 1, 1, fine. Okay, now you can see that it occurs at position 2. Okay, for human we saw that it is at position 1 and 3 for human interpretation, because we start the position from 1. But for programmatic interpretation, the index starts from 0. So the occurrence is at 0 and 2. Fine. Now we know that in elephant only 2 times E occurs. But let me try to find the third occurrence. If I want to find the third occurrence, then I have to start search from the second occurrence plus 1. So it is 2 plus 1, 3. So I am going to search for the third occurrence. If it is not present, then it will give minus 1. This is how find function works. So for this implementation of code, what we are going to do is, for this algorithm implementation, we are going to use the count function and the find function. So after reading the string and the character, first of all I am going to find the number of times it has occurred. For that we are using the variable count, right? So let us say count is equal to s dot count of ch. Okay, so I am going to find how many times it occurs, and if count is equal to 0, then I should print no, and I should not do anything else. Okay, so I am going to have a else part under which only I am going to do rest of the code. So what does the rest of the code says? You have to take one by one, but fortunately we have got the find function in Python, which is going to help us. So here I am going to say count already defined. Now I have to say the sum of position. Let me say sum of position equal to 0. Then even count, I am going to give it as false. Then even position also I am going to make it as false. Okay, and then I am going to use the start position, because let me say start position as -1. I have reason for saying it as -1. Okay, so I have declared these variables for my convenience of coding. I am saying start position as -1. What I am going to do is I am going to say s dot, okay, find. I am going to use the find function. What I am going to find? I am going to find ch. I am going to find ch in s. Okay, but where I am going to find? I am going to do it from the variable start position plus 1. Okay, I have initialized start position as 0. Since I have put plus 1, then the start position will be 0, 0th index. Since it is -1, when I add a 1 to it, it becomes 0. So for the first time it will start searching from the position 0, and based on this only the start position, what based on the value returned by this find function only, it is going to change, right. So, I say start position is equal to this particular function, right. After this, you have to have a while loop in which I am going to say while start position is not equal to -1, because just now we saw that if the particular character do not occur in the string, then it will give me, find function will give me -1, right. So, I am just checking it for once, and if it is -1, then it will not go inside at all, right. Otherwise, I am going to go inside the loop, right, where I am going to say some position. In some position variable only I am going to add it, right. So, I am going to add what? I am going to add the value of start position, and then once again I will have this line at the end of the loop, right. Once again I find the start position, okay. So, this will be going on a loop, right. So, some position will be summing up all the occurrence of the particular character CH. After finishing this, right, still I should be inside the else only, while only is finished, because all these things we are going to do only if the character occurs at least once in the string. If it didn't occur even once, then this condition would have met, where we would have print as no, right. Now, come here and you are going to check whether the count of the occurrence is even, right. So, one way is you can check like this, count mod 2, okay. If count mod 2 equal to 0, then you can say even count equal to true, okay. This is one way. Other one is I have to check some position, right. Another way to check if it is even is if it is not odd. See, bitwise operations are much faster compared to arithmetic operations. So, I can prefer doing it. What I am doing here is I am just doing a bitwise AND with 1, right, and this value will be 1 only if it is an odd number. So, what I am doing is if it is a even number, then this value will be 0. So, I am using not operator before it, right. You can do the same thing here also, some position mod 2 equal to 0, that also you can do. But there is an alternative way to do this. This also you have to understand, that is some position bitwise and 1. See, when some position is odd, for odd numbers only the rightmost bit will be 1, and for the value of 1 all bits are 0 except the rightmost bit. So, when I am going to perform a AND operation, how does AND operation work? It will do bit by bit operation, and if 0 and 1 is made, then 0 only, right. Only the last bit can be either 0 or 1 based upon whether it is an odd number or an even number. If it is an odd number, then you will get 1. 1 is true, okay. So, I am just taking it as not of this. So, if it is an even number, the value will be 0 and 0 is false. So, not of false will be true. This is other way of doing, right. So, I am going to say even position equal to true. You can do the above way also, that is not a problem, right. So, now I am going to just check, right, if even count and even position, right. If both of them are true, then it means that the string belongs to even category, okay. Else if, how do we write else if is elif, okay, even count and position is odd, not of even position, okay. That is how we can check whether it is odd. Sorry, here it should be underscore, okay, right. Then we are going to say print even odd, then elif even not even count, okay. Let us say not even count means it is odd, count is odd and position is even position, okay. Then you are going to print odd even, otherwise. Both are odd. How can I check both are odd? By not of this and not of this. Both are odd means then you can say odd, odd. Fine, right? That's how this course should work. Let us check if there is any mistake. So the first thing is elephant and E, yeah, that is printing even, even, right? And next is, sorry, memory A. No. See, since we are going to check the some of the positions, we are not much worried about the human interpretation and the this programmatic interpretation. Both are going to be same only, right? It's not the position is important, it's only some of the things, right? So even one is less, then the property will be preserved. If in human interpretation it is odd, in programmatic interpretation also it will be odd, like that. So only I didn't do anything like +1 or not, don't have such doubts, okay. So next is I am going to give apple and I am going to say P, right. So see, P occurs 2 times, so it is even, right. And when you look at the position in programmatic way, it is 1 and 2, right. 1 plus 2 is 3, so it is odd. In human interpretation, this is 1, 2, 3, so 2 plus 3 will be 5, odd, right. So this code works well, right. Hope you have understood this. Next we will see another one example in this lecture. Yeah, this is problem 2. In this problem, what we are going to do is, we are going to read a word and we are going to find out whether it belongs to camel case, okay. So when we say it belongs to camel cases, if the middle letter is in capitals and all other letters are in small, then we are going to say the particular word is a camel case. So you may have a doubt now, if it is odd length, we will have one middle letter. But what is the case when we are going to have even length word? So the solution is, for human interpretation, you have to take mid and mid plus 1. This is what the thing is, right? And you have to print yes if the word is in camel case and no otherwise. That is how the problem is given. So when we look at the input, a string is the input and output is, if the string is in camel case, print yes and print no otherwise. So when you see the concepts involved, processing the string and checking the case of the string. Now we will see example. See apple, when you look at this, the length of the string is 5 and we have a middle letter P which is in capital letter. When we look at the other letters, they are in lower case, so you have to print S. Next one, you find amla which is of length 4, even length. Okay, when it is of even length, what is the rule that is given? For human interpretation. So for human interpretation means these positions are 1, 2, 3, 4 and 4 mid is 2, okay, mid is 2. So they say that mid and mid plus 1 should be in uppercase, right. Mid is 2, so 2 and 3 should be in uppercase and all others are in small case, yes. When you look at this mango, no, because it is not in camel case. You can see that the first letter is capital letter and so on, right. So 1 minute, yeah, yes. And when we look at this, here the index is very, very important. In the previous case, when I was talking about the index, we didn't much worry about the human interpretation and the program interpretation, because we saw that if my human interpretation says the sum of position is even, then programmatic interpretation also does the same. So there is no specific value involved, right. So it was okay, but here we have to have a clear-cut idea about how the index is going to be, right. For apple it is going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right. So when you find the length of the string, program will give it as 5, right. And you want to find the mid means you have to do integer division by 2. When you do integer division by 2, obviously you are going to get 2. 2 is going to be the middle character. Okay, middle one you will directly get it if it is a odd length string. Let us try for a even length string. The length will be given as 4. The program will give the length as 4. Okay, and when you do integer division of 4 by 2, you will get 2, right? See, actually 2 is this one. At index 2 you have this one. Actually this is mid plus 1 in human interpretation, right? So this is actually mid in mid plus 1 of human interpretation is mid in programmatic interpretation. So when we are going to write the program, we should consider the index mid minus 1 and mid for finding out the camel case. These two characters should be in capital letter and others should be in small letter, right? So now we will just implement the algorithm. A fast rush through the algorithm is you have to read the string, find the length, find the mid. Okay, if L is odd, that is if the length is odd, then mid is going to be in capital letter and all other letters are going to be in small letter. Then you will print yes, otherwise you will print no. If L is even, then you have to check letters at mid minus 1. I have written the algorithm as per programmatic interpretation. Okay, and mid are going to be in capital letter and letters in other position are going to be in small letter. Then you will say yes because it is in camel case, otherwise you will say no, right. So let us quickly implement this algorithm in Python. So the algorithm says read the string S. Yeah, we have read. Then it says L is equal to the length of the string. Length we should find like this in Python, and mid is going to be integer division of L. So L, is it L? No, yes, L. L integer division 2, right? And now we are going to find out whether it is odd or even, right? So if L mod 2, okay, equal to 0, okay, if it is if it is even, I have come to that condition. Not equal to 0 means it's going to be odd, right? If it is odd, then what should you do? You should check the middle letter, whether the middle letter is going to be in capital letter. So how can we check? If S of, we will use indexing concept. Now we are looking at one character at the position mid, right? If, and how can you check whether it is an uppercase? Is upper function you will use, right? So you are checking if S of mid dot is upper, right? Then only you are going to check the rest of the things. Actually it's not only about the middle character, but about the middle character should be in uppercase and all other characters should be in smaller case, right? So how to check that? All other means to the left of the mid. How will I take? S of 0 colon mid. Please recall, in slicing we say the starting index 0 means it starts from 0 and colon we have to keep, and end index. So when you say end index, it is end index plus 1. So when I say 0 colon mid, it will consider only 0 colon mid minus 1. Okay, and I am going to check whether it is in lower case. Okay, and one more thing, this is my left part. My right part, how will I access the right part? The starting index should be exactly from where I should start. So it is S of mid plus 1, from there I have to start. And in slicing you can ignore the second thing, or you can ignore the stopping position. If you ignore the stopping position, then it will go till the end of the string. So S of mid plus 1 colon, if you just keep and leave, means it will go till the end of the string. Okay, if this and this is lower, if the left part and the right part both are lower, then I will say S. It is a camel case, because look at the code carefully. Yeah, so look at the code carefully. You can see that mid character, this is odd length string, so you have to check only one character at the index mid, right? and you find that the mid character is capital letter. Fine, very good, satisfied, one condition satisfied for camel case. And what are the other two conditions? The left side all should be in lowercase. How do we check the left side? Is 0 to mid. When I say up to mid, actually end index will be end index plus 1. So when I say you have to go up to mid, it will go up to only mid minus 1. Mid is the position where it will stop. Okay. So I am seeing the left portion, whether it is lower, yes, and yes. Okay. And I have to see the right part. When the right part, I have to start from mid plus 1. Okay. Starting is from that position, end only it's like that. Colon. Actually in slicing, there is a option that you can leave the second one. If you leave the second one, then it will check till the end. Similarly, you can leave the first one also. If you leave the first one, then it will consider from the beginning. Okay, fine. So both the halves are lowercase. Then I am going to print as. Now else. This else is actually associated with this if. Okay, so it means that the middle one is upper, but the left and the right are not lower. All the characters on the left part and the right part are not lower, means then you are going to say no. Similarly, I have to have a else for this if. For this if I am providing a else where I mean that the mid character itself is not uppercase, then I won't check about the left part, right part, everything. I will simply print no, right? Okay, fine. Now I am coming to the else part of the outer if. The outer if is if the value is odd, that is if the number of characters is odd. Else means the number of characters will be even. When it is even, what should we do? We have to see the character at position mid minus 1, okay, whether it is upper, and s of mid is upper. If both these things are upper, then only we are going to check. What you will check? Once again, you have to see the left. When you look at the left for a even string, it will start from 0 and it should stop before mid 1, right? So I am saying 0 to mid 1, right? If this is the thing, this should be lower. This left part should be lower, and s of mid plus 1, okay, mid plus 1 colon mid plus 1 colon. You can just leave it because I have to check till the end of the string, so you need not give any value for that if it is upper. Okay, then I am going to print s. Else, that is the else for the innermost if, as we saw in the previous case, where we check for the two halves. If they are not same, if they are not in lowercase, print no, right? This is for the first inner if, where we check for uppercase for the middle letters. If they are not matching, print no, right? And that's it, right? So we have completed the code. Let us check it for, sorry, yeah, yes, okay, and no, and oh no, okay, this should be yes. So there is some problem, we are checking it. So you are checking mid minus 1, right? Mid minus 1 is upper, right? Mid is 2, so mid minus 1 will be upper, and mid also is upper, and then you are checking 0 to mid minus 1, that will be the left part, that is lower, right? Yes, 0 to mid minus 1 should be there, okay. Mid plus 1, sorry, here it should be is lower, it's a typo, is lower, yeah, yes, okay. And Can try? No. Okay. So this is how we can use some of the functions of strings and we can solve the problem. We have 2 more problems to solve for strings. I will put it in the next video. Okay. Thank you.